早急に取り掛かるぞ。
East 1. The Dora is the 2 of dots. The player is north.
I'd love to see some tile drawing magic here.
Let's see how this battle unfolds. Look at that Dora! The player, already 2 tiles to Tempai.
This hand is really beginning to come together.
Who's going to make the first call here?
Oh.
The player across makes a call out of nowhere. Any calls on this tile? Took a pass for now. What to do with this tile? Oh, making a move here.
This lifts a heavy burden.
Who will come out on top? The player. Is it time for still holding back? Whatever happens, it'll be something to talk about. The player is already 1 tile to Tempai.
This hand is very near completion.
The player on the right, that's a pawn. Still no calls. The player on the right makes a call on another crack. The player across refuses to compromise. Doubled up on the player, Tempai. Who's going to pull away from the pack? Ah, geez! The player on the right, a very swift win off the wall.
The player on the right, a very favorable.
East 1, 1 counter. The Dora is the 5 of Bams. The player is north. How does this starting hand look to you?
This starting hand is certainly very competitive.
This is not an easy spot to work around. What's going to happen to this score gap? Look at that Dora! The player, already 2 tiles to Tempai.
The next few tiles could make a huge difference.
Doubled up on a tile that was just discarded. The player, is there any way to turn the tables here? The player across makes a call out of nowhere. Another useless draw. The players are already... There it is! The player on the right suffers an unexpected loss.
That was a speedy finish.
East 2. The Dora is White Dragon. The player is West. The player on the right is in first.
At the moment, this is anyone's game.
The stage is set. Anything can happen. The player, first place is well within striking range. The player, 1 step in the right direction.
This is the point where skill really factors in.
This table is so quiet I could hear. Any calls on this? Took a pass for now. Things are at a standstill. The player, 2 tiles to Tempai.
This hand is really beginning to come together.
What to do with still holding back?
Probably looking to block that green dragon for quite a while.
The player, still no calls. Oh wow, and there's a call. The player, is it time for a call? Oh, making a move here. Uh-oh, East has declared Nietzsche.
I'm curious to see if this develops into a confrontation.
Will it be possible to catch up here?
The player across the table has discarded that.
The player on the right.
Wrong.
There it is! The player on the right suffers an unexpected loss.
This will be a repeat of East.
East 2, 1 counter. The Dora is the 3 of bands. The player is West. The player across the table is in first.
At the moment, this is anyone's game.
Now, let's watch how things develop. The player, first place, is well within striking range. The air is tense as the players take their turns. The player, 1 step in the right direction.
The next few tiles could make a huge difference.
Who's going to make the first call here?
This West could be kept as a safe tile.
This table is so quiet I could hear a pin drop. The player, that's progress.
This is the point where skill really factors in.
Uh-oh, East has declared Nietzsche.
Gotta be cautious against an East Beach.
Question is, can the player survive this situation? The player's going for it.
That tile made it through. The player across the table has discarded that tile.
How are the players going to approach this hand? Excellent evasive action. Is this hand going to end quietly? Any call? Took a pass for now. Who will seize the win this hand?
Keeping a very cool head here.
Who will arrive? What to do with this still holding back? We're witnessing a tense push and pull, following suit on that last discard. Nobody wins this shootout.
Only the player across the table is tenpai.
East 3, 2 counters. The Dora is the 2 of cracks. The player is South.
Let's see where this hand ends up going.
Is this a battle that can be won? The player, 1 step in the right direction.
This hand is really beginning to come together. Maybe it is better to hold back without any north tiles visible.
What's going to happen to this score gap? The player, that's progress.
The next few tiles could
Took a pass for now. The player, is there any way to turn the tables here? Draws yet another simple. Any calls on this tile? Still holding back. Things are at a state. My, oh my, and there's the beach!
There are any number of responses here.
Question is, can the players survive this situation? 1 step in the beach! Chasing beach!
There are any number of responses here. That's a safe tile for the entire table.
What to do with still no calls? No one dares to make the first move.
That's a safe tile for the player on the right.
Oh wow, and there's a call. The player, is it time for a call?
That's a safe.
Ah, geez! The player on the right, a very swift win off the wall.
With a fine play. No.
East 4, the Dora is the 4 of dots. The player is East. Heading into the final hand of the match.
The player, a Mangan, will take first.
Well, it's hard to know just how this will turn out. What's going to happen to this score gap? The player, is there any way to turn the tables here? The air is tense as the players take their turns. The player, 1 step in the right direction.
The dots are really coming together.
Draws yet another dot. The player, gaining momentum.
This is the point where skill really factors.
Any calls on? Took a pass for now. The player is already 1 tile to tenpai.
It's important to find the best possible weight.
Draws yet another simple. Who's going to make the first call here? 1 step in the wrong direction.
This north could be kept as a safe tile.
What to do? Still holding back. The player, 1 tile to tenpai.
Certain tiles will fit right into this hand. Others will gradually transform it.
The player, still no calls. This table is so quiet I could hear a pin drop. Look at that!
Reach.
There it is! Neach!
That is a very confident,
Oh my!
No.
Pots! I hear a roan!
a very impressive finish. I'm very curious.
漫画
The player!
全然なってない。すべてやり直せ。